guys, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Homebuying 101 with Sebastian Cordoba, Mr. Clear to Close. Guys, very excited because this week we're going to be talking about not only very important information, but very sensitive information. That's right. So the first subject we're going to be talking about is divorces. That's right. What should you know, or what should you at least prepare for in case you run into a divorce in the future? But more importantly, the next topic, an important and sensitive topic, is downsizers, empty nesters. What does that actually mean, guys, right? We'll be indulging right into those topics. Last topic, which is gonna tie everything right in. Common question we keep getting, guys. Sebastian, where should I buy? Where's the best location that I should buy? We're gonna be answering that as well, guys. So, aside from the very important and sensitive topics we will be talking about, I have a very special guest. I have real estate agent Javi from Javier Hurtado Realty at eXp Realty, guys. So please do not miss it, like it, subscribe it, and sit tight. Bring out them notepads and them pens because we have some very good information coming up. All right, guys, so please, big round of applause, bring out them horns, put them fireworks going because I have real estate agent Javi from Javier Hurtado Realty at eXp Realty. So, Javi, thank you so much for coming out today, man.
Thank you so much, my man. Thank you very much for the invitation. I am grateful to be here, guys, to share this information with y'all.
So, yes, and Javi, again, thank you so much for coming out. You know, we have some very important information that we're going to be talking about.
We do.
Yes.
We really do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And Javi, please, before we get into these very hot topics, tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do? Who are you?
Who is Javier? Well, I'll start like this. I was a kid growing up here. I grew up in the North End. I moved to South Shore afterwards. So I know Boston inside and out.
Nice.
And my family, we come a family of, we're restaurant owners right now.
Okay.
We're downtown Boston.
Nice.
Chacarero is our restaurant.
Okay.
So we do very well, thank God.
Okay. Salud. Let's go.
If you guys ever want to stop by, come say hi.
Yep.
My family, my whole family's there.
Okay.
But I started in real estate a little bit over 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And I was just first a pupil.
Okay.
And now I'm still a pupil, but I'm a pupil that's more knowledgeable.
Ooh,
so,
I like it. So there's
yeah.
people that's actually looking out into the market and is functional.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Javi, love it. And again, thank you so much for coming out, man. I think this is very important because, you know, we're very like-minded. We're very about helping the community and educating the community, right? Mm-hmm. So a hot subject, something that we're coming across a lot is divorces, right?
Yes.
So let's just dig right into it, right? Divorces, what's something that somebody should be preparing for? I mean, what's kind of the difference in a transaction when you're buying, when you're not in a divorce, or maybe when you're in a divorce and you kind of have to buy something, right, Javi?
Sure. It is a very tender subject for those that are here. And we completely understand all the situation and things like that. It's just we're professionals. We have to help you get you to the finish line. Mm-hmm. So I think the most important thing to understand in the aspect of like how different it really is, we were talking about this before, how in real estate, a normal transaction, the realtor is pretty much the quarterback.
Okay.
He's a QB. He's running the show.
In a football game, so you're talking about the quarterback that's running, making and viewing the whole field.
Everything. He has the whole vision. He has to review the field. He has to keep his lender in line. He has to keep the attorney in line. He has to keep the other realtor in line, the other buyers or sellers, depending on what your situation is. He has to control everything and make sure that everything goes through smoothly so that the purchase or sale or whatever it is clean.
Closes.
Now, in a divorce transaction, it's a little bit different.
All right.
So the realtor still has to do all these things, but he has to go to a higher power now.
Okay, so he's talking to the football gods now.
He's talking to the football gods. So he's not the QB in this situation. Actually, the divorce attorney is a QB. He's a QB because...
Why? Yes, please.
Yeah, the QB, the divorce attorney, excuse me, he has to take care of his client. He has to know the client's situation, finances, all that stuff. And at the same time, he has to protect his client versus, because it is versus in a divorce. Excuse me, guys, but it is versus.
So there's another side. I mean, you're basically protecting your client to make sure that...
Interest.
Yes, okay, best interest, right.
The client's best interest versus the other spouse. So you're getting divorced. you are selling your house, or you want the other person to buy out the property. Well, actually, by the way, how do you do that?
Great question, Javi. So, and the way we look at it is affordability, right? So if somebody's looking to do a refinance to buy out the other person, meaning they're going to consume that mortgage into that one person and buy out the other person, we can do it. The most important piece is that they qualify, right? So, Javi, what do we look at to somebody when they're looking to qualify? Very straightforward. It's your credit score, right? We're looking at your employment history. Important piece there is you can have multiple jobs, 1, 2, 3, or 4 jobs over the past 2 years. The important piece is that there's no gap of employment where you didn't work. Okay? The important piece, my favorite piece, is the income analysis. It's how much can you afford. It's the debt to income ratio that we're looking at to determine how much you can actually purchase. So that's how we determine is, hey, listen, can you afford this property on your own by doing the refinancing, buying this person out? That's what we look at. Hey, can you afford it? If you can, great. You can refinance, buy the person out, and keep it on your own.
In most cases, I haven't seen, so in divorces, that's been about, I'd say, 25 to 35% of the cases, where most of the times they have to sell. They have to liquidate, and each of them takes their portion, whichever they settle on. I don't want to say half, because sometimes it's been very different. But
at that point, it's the attorney who's the quarterback.
The attorney's a quarterback. I don't have to deal with that, thankfully. But what I do need to deal with is the following. So let's say, for example, you're a couple. You want to get a divorce. She has her attorney, or this person has their attorney, this person has their attorney. So each attorney is going to have their recommendation for a realtor. All right? But they have to choose the best realtor for the job that's going to be it's not even the best realtor. You would think it's the best
When you say
realtor.
top, it's like the top producing realtor, or what do you mean?
Well, their top choices, that is a specialty in their niche. So they know divorce listings. They know how to sell it, because the secret is they have to be very unbiased and very, they just have to do their job.
And not be intervening into any of the chaos, I guess.
Nothing, because it's very important that each side has their things privately done, because let's say, for example, the wife comes to me or the husband comes to me, whichever one. They come to me and they say, hey, I was cheating this whole time. What if it slipped on me? It wouldn't, but what if it slipped and I told the other spouse? That's something that they could use in the divorce.
And then that would influence, or that would impact the overall agreement of that divorce.
Absolutely. It would be very
instrumental.
bad.
Yeah, I mean that's
very
crucial.
bad.
So what you're saying is, okay, so when you're dealing with, let's say you're getting prepared to get divorced, right? There's a lot of things that are moving, a lot of variable pieces that are into play, right?
So many.
But I think the important piece is making sure that first you understand your finances. You say, hey, listen, if I need to part ways, and I'm trying to purchase a home on my own, I need to get it together with a good team, a real estate agent who is non-biased.
Non-biased. So both sides are going to recommend their situation, but it's going to be decided that one realtor is going to list the property. In that situation, the realtor lists the property, does their normal job, but reports back to not only the seller that they choose, but the attorney. The attorney for that side.
Got it.
And that attorney relays everything over. It's very important for the realtor to keep in contact and make sure that it's just a very, very professional and non-biased transaction. Not that it should ever be biased, but we're human beings. It's the way that it is.
I love that. So just to kind of recap, what we're talking about is, let's say you own a property with your spouse, okay? And you guys are going to get divorced. You're going to be selling this property because one of you guys, or either one of you guys, cannot afford keeping it on your own, and maybe you guys just want to part ways and do your financing and purchase your home on your own. How do you manage selling this property that you and your spouse own and legally be in compliance with everyone? What you're saying is be very careful with the real estate attorney that you're using and the real estate agent that you're using, because it's all about having a good team to make sure you're well protected.
It's cohesiveness.
So
everybody needs to work together in a very synchronous way. The attorney has to be top, the divorce attorney. Your realtor has to be top, and your lender needs to be top, because your lender is going to prepare you for the next place, because at the end of the day, okay, you're going to sell your property. Where are you going to go? Or your lender is going to help you set you up.
And how nice would it be for you to, before you get to that point, we've already sat down. I've already looked at the income. I've already looked at the credit, the analysis. I've already said, hey, listen, this is the amount that you can qualify for. At the same time of you doing your divorce, so now once you get to the final piece of that divorce, now you're comfortable. The least of your worries is getting your financing. Oh, the next piece of your worry is finding that dream home with your realtor.
Exactly. I think the secret here is one thing, not being reactive, being proactive. You should be proactive in any transaction, but especially in this situation.
Okay.
It's especially important. So that is my takeaway, being proactive, guys.
So please, I hope the notepads are halfway through that first page, because you know what? I've already took a whole 2 pages and they don't take notes like I do. So I'll tell you. But Javi, you know, that's important. So, you know, before we transition out of the divorce, I think, you know, we've laid it all out.
Yes, we have.
Very important. Work with the team. Make sure that you guys are working with the team and you understand your situation before you're getting to that closing table or that divorce table, right?
Exactly.
So next topic, because to keep this train going, the momentum's going great. We have people liking it and sharing it, guys, in this, you know, and please like it, subscribe it, comment, keep sharing it, guys. But next topic we have, Javi, we're talking about empty nesters.
It's a big topic, guys.
We're talking about downsizing.
I think that it's something that we will all face in the majority of us.
Great. What does that actually mean? Because a lot of people say, what does that actually mean? So downsizing, empty nesters. Tell me, what does a downsizer mean?
I'll give you an example.
Please.
I think an example is the best, because I could try and explain it, but an example is best.
Yes.
It's you have your family, okay? You have your 3 kids or 2 kids. You have a nice house, you're comfortable. Okay, they went to college. They got their jobs. They got their condos. They're living in the city in Boston. You have a big house. You have a lot of work to do in that house. It feels vacant. You want something more compact, more comfortable, more fitting for your new chapter in your life. What are you going to do? You're going to get rid of that property. You want to sell it, or if you have a realtor like myself, you're going to take it, see what options you do have. You want to rent it, you want to sell it, whatever it is, but you want to move to the next place that is going to be the next chapter of your life.
Wow. Wow. So what you're saying is, you know, a good example is somebody who, let's say, for example, they have children. You know, they're living in a property that has 4 bedrooms.
Okay.
Huge home. A lot of square footage, you know, some yard work that has to get done, but, you know, us gentlemen, we don't mind getting out there on a Sunday, cutting some grass, drinking a beer. Yeah, that's what we do. That's not the big deal. The problem is this. How nicer would it be, or how much more comfortable would it be once you have empty nest, or let's say you don't have any more children, or so much space, all that square footage that you have in that home isn't being used. So now you're downsizing. You're looking for a home that's, what, lesser in square footage, maybe lesser bedrooms, or, you know, what's kind of a good example?
A good example, it's different scenarios, but a good example would be, let's say this example, you have a lot of square footage, big yard, 4 beds. Okay, you don't need all that anymore, but you still want to have the grandkids over. You still want to have your family over sometimes. You get a 2-bed with a nice, you know, let's say an in-law downstairs, or you get a condo in the city. And still a 2-bed. You could have people stay over, whatever it may be, but you tend to want to downsize everything else because it's just more comfortable for your situation where you are right now. And that is essentially what downsizing and, you know, that is.
Awesome. And I'll give you a great example, Javi, because, you know, let's say somebody who has a single family home, the 4 bedrooms, the large square footage, very big yard, and they're just a big home. They don't want to sell it because there's so many memories in that home. Maybe in the future they want to leave it to their kids, right? So what do they decide to do? Let's rent that property out.
That's also an option.
The mortgage payment on that is either paid off or very, very close to being paid off because they've had it over many years.
Yes.
Right. So how nice would it be for you to create some wealth and create some real estate portfolio, rent out that property, right? Have it pay at least that mortgage payment that you still own on it off. Plus, maybe help you with that next mortgage payment on the next smaller home that feels more comfortable and cozy for you.
Yeah.
Right? Very doable. So as an investor, you know, as an investor it becomes 25%, but as a primary residence, when you're going to live in there,
that is a big difference.
It's only 5% down.
Oh man, that's a deal.
That's a deal.
That's a deal.
That's a deal.
Sign me up.
Yes, please, right here. Sign. But you know, when you're working with the team, there's no need for you to sell it unless you don't need to sell it. But if you need to sell it because it's a good market, I mean, tell me about right now kind of what you're seeing. If you were to put your market on your house on the market, is it a good time to sell, or what are you seeing?
I'll say it like this. I don't want to be biased and say it's great or bad. Every realtor is going to try and sell you the same thing, but let's look at the stats. This year, 2023, so far, it's the lowest inventory we've had thus far. Okay. Obviously, we're very early in the year, but let's look throughout the years. The MLS consensus, which is multiple listing services, they actually have statistics and numbers throughout the years. I guess up to 5 years. Okay. And over the last 5 years, if you look at the graph and the numbers, it has continuously declined for the amount of inventory that there is for homes. And ironically, the prices have actually gone up. Ironically. So I think it's fair to say that the inventory this year is low. That means that if you were to put your house on the market, the people that still want to buy, they would be very interested in your home without having any bias, whether it's like it's a good time to sell, bad time to sell. It's just there would be a lot of eyes on your property, and that you would have a very good chance to get a good amount of money for your property.
Amazing. Javi, so, I mean, let's just kind of summarize it, because what we're saying is 2 options. You can stay with that property, continue to build some equity, have itself pay itself off, and then help you with your current mortgage. Yep. Maybe in the future you gift it to your kids, and that's an amazing gift. I mean, if my parents put it in a trust, be smart, make sure you manage it, work with a financial advisor, work with a team that's going to put you into a good position. Financial advisor is very important. Very important. Or, like you said, sell it. It's a market where, okay, we don't want to say if it's a seller's or a buyer's market, but what we're seeing statistically is there's very little inventory. So when you put your house on the market, you have a better opportunity to have all of the buyers that are actively looking for a home want to make an offer and maybe bid for it, right? Exactly. So downsizing, empty nesters, to kind of recap, anybody who maybe needs smaller space, they can buy this next property without having to put 20 or 25% down.
No, they don't have to.
You can buy it as a primary residence and only put 5% down.
Which is a very good deal, if you ask me.
Yes.
And I mean, we all know the interest rates are high. I don't really want to talk about it that much. But we do know that the market goes up and down. Yes. Just got to get yourself a good deal. Yes. And then refinance in the future.
Exactly. So the advice that, we give to our clients is this, Javi, is, right now, if it makes sense, if monthly, financially, it makes sense for you to get into a home, right? And per month, you are comfortable living this worst case scenario, okay? We're in a worst case scenario, and you say, Sebastian, yeah, for 2-3 years, I can live comfortably with this monthly payment. This is the worst case, Javi, right? Yeah. So what happens when the market changes and the interest rates drop? When you get this chance to refinance, now what are you doing? You're putting yourself from a worst case to
a best case.
The best case. So you're minimizing that monthly payment, and now you're even more comfortable than what you were for the past 3 years.
That sounds like something I want to jump on, yeah?
Yeah, so here, please, sign right here, please. So, Javi, I love it. Just to kind of recap, we went into divorce, is a very sensitive subject. I know it was very good info. Now, we went into the empty nesters, the downsizers. Now that, let's say somebody is looking to downsize, somebody is looking to buy this next, retirement home to comfortably be there, not have to walk up 2 flights of stairs, be in that same ranch floor. What's the common question we get, right, is, well, where should I buy? Where's the best area I should be buying in? So, Javi, just to kind of dig or jump into this subject, with this hot question, Javi, where's the best area or places to buy?
Well, if I could give you a clear-cut answer, I would tell you, but I'll give you a couple scenarios. Okay. So that it affects the people that it needs to affect, and the people that need to know about it. So let's say you're a young guy. You want to move into the city, young lady. I would say Boston would be a good place to get yourself a condo. Okay. Because you're going to build your self-equity instantaneously. If you get yourself a condo in the city, you're going to build your self-equity. Okay. If you're a person that wants to be, hey, I want a cash flowing property. Okay. Cash flow property. I would say if you want to get a multifamily in that area, Worcester is the lowest investment to the highest return that you can do at this point in time. Yeah.
So let me just jump in there. So what you're saying is you can still purchase a property, an investment property, or a multifamily property.
Yes.
At a reasonable price.
Very reasonable compared to everything that's going on.
Compared to the rest of the market in Massachusetts, right? And you can still receive a reasonable rate of return, rental income.
Exactly. The Worcester rents are actually very good, especially near the universities, things like that.
Okay.
And I think for investment purposes, where it's multifamilies, I think that's a very good place to invest your money into.
Okay.
It's a growing market. If you are a person that wants to raise a family, wants to have a good school system, wants to have good community base, it would be suburban areas outside of Boston. So I would say right here.
Marlborough. Okay.
I would say the South Shore, Canton, Sharon area.
Okay.
North Shore, Winchester is a fantastic area to live in.
Okay.
It's a great community. Those areas like that, Melrose. So those are good for families. Arlington, Somerville, Cambridge. Those are like great areas. Those are closer to the city as well.
Okay.
I think Somerville is bordering, Cambridge is bordering, and I think Winchester is about an 18-minute drive from Boston.
Amazing, amazing. So, and I'm capturing, I'm sure everybody else who's listening, all these different beautiful cities, including Marlborough, because great city to buy in is Marlborough.
Great city.
It's booming, especially with the industries and the commercial space that keeps continuing to grow, keeps the real estate and the residential real estate taxes low, right? But what all these cities and towns that you're talking about is alongside the 495. It's kind of hugging Boston.
Yes.
Right? So what you're seeing is it's a great safe spot or a nice place for you to raise your family and live in there.
And build your equity.
Build some equity.
Because let's say you go far from Boston, you say, I'm going to buy a $300,000 property in Springfield.
Okay.
Or $250,000.
Which they're very low down there.
They are very low. And sure, if that's what you can afford and that's what you want to buy, that's great.
Yes, it's not a bad investment. That's a great investment.
It's a fantastic investment. But if you want a property that's going to grow a lot in equity, I'll put it to you like this. The very simple terms. You set a pin on Boston, build a radius around Boston, and the closer you are to Boston, the more equity you're going to build in your property.
Okay. So that's the way to look at it. As an investor, as somebody who's going to live in there forever, somebody who's just in there for short term. I mean, that's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So Javi, thank you so much because, to answer the question, it's not one answer. I mean, it depends on what you're looking to do, right?
It depends on the variables.
On the variables. What's your plan? What's your 5-year plan?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Do you want to live here forever? Do you want to just create some cash flow? And this is your first property of many, right? Maybe starting outside of Boston, so you're building some good equity and coming in, or some good cash flow. Exactly. So once you have enough money to build into a good property that's going to build more equity quickly because you're closer to that pin.
Exactly.
The way to do it is having this portfolio.
And I do want to make one more point.
Please.
If I may.
Yes.
If I may.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes, please. You already signed.
Yeah, I signed. I'm here for the long haul. Guys, if you're willing and if you're able to, I would say in the Dorchester area, the zip codes that are growing and the zip codes that already have grown, if you stay in some zip code in Dorchester, which is maybe a condo you get, or even a multifamily, which is the steal, I would buy and hold, and I would not sell that.
Okay.
I will repeat that. I will not sell in Dorchester if I get in Dorchester, because that place, you're going to thank me in 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
So 5 to 10 years, everybody who's listening, you better be staying close and still subscribe because in 5 years. Now, is there any sort of reason, is there any sort of indication that says, hey, you know what, this is why I got to this conclusion?
So if you see Dorchester, I'll give you an example, a personal example. I went to go see a woman who bought her place in Dorchester in 91.
Okay.
Actually, the year
1991.
91, the year I was born.
Nice.
So you guys know.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah. She bought her property for $110,000. No, excuse me. That's another person. $89,000.
89.
80 in
what
Dorchester.
kind of property?
It's a 2-family in Dorchester.
Get out of here.
Yes, sir. And right now it's valued at 1.1.
1.1.
1.1. Yes, time has passed, but it is growing in value. That just shows real estate how much it grows. And the reason I say Dorchester is like very important, and also on this topic, East Boston. If you look at, let's say, places that are more developed, let's look at Manhattan, for example.
Okay.
And you look at New Jersey, that's bordering Manhattan, but the areas that are nice in New Jersey, that are very expensive, that look over the city, those places are very expensive. Back in the day, they weren't that expensive. They were cheap.
Okay.
No one wanted to live in New Jersey, that area of New Jersey. They wanted to live in Manhattan. Now people are looking to leave Manhattan, move into New Jersey, and move into this. I forget the town. What it's called.
I think they have Middlesex County out there.
Hoboken.
Okay.
That's what it is. Hoboken.
Okay.
East Boston is our Hoboken.
Viewing the city, and they have the beautiful view.
Viewing the city. It's literally across. And that is our Hoboken. And I would say Dorchester is more of like a, if I had to compare it to New York, the Brooklyn.
So the upcoming Brooklyn, I mean, because you see Brooklyn now, I mean, it's getting gentrification. I mean, a lot of people coming are getting kind of priced out, just like what we're seeing in Massachusetts. So this is huge, Javi. Dude, this is amazing, man.
It's incredible. I'm not going to see it in my lifetime, but I know that Boston is going to be bigger than New York.
It will.
Well, Manhattan. It's going to be bigger than that because we're not landlocked and we keep developing. Okay. Manhattan's stuck. You can't go anywhere.
Wow. Guys, and this is huge because I think I love being here in the Massachusetts market because people, let's let them keep going in New York. Let's stay here with the Celtics and the Patriots and the good Boston vibe because our market is phenomenal, keeps going up in value, and we still have the potential to get to a New York City level of market without having to be in all that congestion and jungle vibe, right? Yeah. Maybe?
It's jungle fever up there.
Jungle fever over there.
Jungle fever. We got good sports here too. I'm just saying, we got the best.
So, to recap, guys, we talked about some very important, some very sensitive information, all the way from divorcees, all the way to, empty nesters, and then to where you should be buying, right? Very important information. But, Javi, before we let these beautiful listeners, these beautiful viewers go, leave us, please, with the best piece of knowledge you want to have us kind of sink into our brains. What's a good advice? But more importantly, what's the best way for everybody to be able to reach out to you and get these answers from you? Sure.
Guys, if you search on Google Javier Hurtado Realty, or you give me a call, 781-264-3835, you can always reach me. That's my direct line. You can check out my videos online, Instagram, all that fun stuff when you Google me. But I think the thing I want to leave you guys with, I want to leave everyone here with, is I think it doesn't matter when you buy real estate. You could have bought it 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You could be regretting it today. Don't regret. Just purchase right now. Purchase some real estate. And if your goal is to hold it, you're never going to regret it because real estate over time always grows. It always grows. If you're a flipper, that's a different story. But buy, hold, you will never regret it.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Javi, again, thank you so much because I think that, everybody who was able to synchronize today and be able to listen and take everything in got some very valuable information. So, Javi, again,
my man, thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And for everybody tuning in, please like it, subscribe it, comment, and I look forward to seeing you guys into next week's episode. Thank you so much.